All right. So let's go over this presentation. And as I told you, we're gonna spend, hold on, let me time myself. Oh, this phone's gonna die. I gotta leave one. Time myself. Let's see, do I got any juice on this one? Yeah, I got some juice. All right. Then get back to, and then I gotta get back to work. Um, Set an alarm for 45 minutes.
Setting your alarm.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. So, write a book for business. So, this is the screen that when you're getting ready to do your workshop, right? This is, of course, the screen that the presentation is rested on when everybody's coming in and things of that nature. So, we may even change the title from Making Six Figures from It. We'll work on that. But more than likely, it's not going to look like this at all. It's going to be a big image, okay? Remember, I'm going to be really converting this PowerPoint to be more graphic, picture friendly versus a whole lot of text. So it's going to be important, though, that you understand what's on each slide and you know what to say on those slides, okay? So that's why doing this is definitely going to be critical to understand what you need to be saying on these presentations. Now, before I get into this, one thing I want you to always remember that I always love to implement is crowd participation, getting people to participate with me. When you get people to start participating, you open them up, they let their guards down. So it's important to do that. And also know that everybody's presentation style may be different, okay? I don't want you guys to become a mini me, right? I want you to have your own style with your own personality, but just learning how to implement some of the strategies that are going to be important for you to have a successful presentation, okay? Now, the first question that I asked, so I'm going to just do these first couple of slides, then I'll go back and go over them. So I'll do maybe 5 slides and go back over them, okay? So anyway, so hey, everybody, welcome here to the presentation. My name is Taria Vision Avant, and I am so excited. You guys, if you're here to learn about how you can write a book for your business in 30 days and make 6 figures from it, guys, you are definitely in the right place at the right time. Now, I have a question. I want everybody to think about this. You don't need to answer this out loud, but think about this to yourself. In what you've done with your life, is it giving you what you want? And I want you to think about that, because many of us, the reason why we're here is probably because it has not. And you know what? I just want you guys to know something. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. It's totally okay. Guys, look, we're all here in this journey together. And sometimes we just need to be able to kind of figure out the right ways and where we need to go so that we can get you there. I do definitely also want to congratulate you, because if you're saying, Taria, I'm ready for change.
We can't see your screen.
You thought you was just here to talk about writing books, but you were in the right place at the right time. So congratulations on taking the first step today. Now, I want everybody to look at these people right here and tell me, what do these people all have in common? Let's say this person says they're speakers. Okay, yeah, awesome. They have a book. Yes, exactly, right? Okay, yeah, every one of them actually have a book. But let me tell you what's even more specific about their journey. All of them leveraged books to take their businesses to the next level. You know, Lisa Nichols came out with No Matter What. And guys, I'm gonna tell you this, look at her cover. I mean, honestly, we can do covers like that, right, too? And this was before the time where everybody really knew her from The Secret, but she wrote this book. She was invited to be a part of The Secret, and then there you go, right?
T, we can't see your screen, T.
Nobody knew he was a relationship expert. In fact, I don't know, is he one? I mean, apparently most people think he's a relationship expert, right? But it really was solidified for him, and his life totally changed when he wrote this book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. what men really think about love, relationships, intimacy, and commitment. He became New York's bestseller. He got his TV show. Now people are asking him, Ask Steve. He's giving relationship advice. He has become the go-to guy on relationships and understanding men. And then you have TD Jakes. TD Jakes talks about this all the time. Women thou art loosed. He actually took the money that he was going to use to buy him and his wife a beautiful home. I can't remember the exact amount. It might have been like $14,000. But he took that money, and instead of investing into a home, he invested to buy books. He also talks about that first batch of books he sold out immediately. But this is what turned into now being an incredible movement. He has MegaFest, where thousands and thousands of people come from all over the world. And also within MegaFest, because, you know, he did have the Women Thou Art Loosed conference, but he also has a segment within MegaFest where he does Women Thou Art Loosed. I think it was so many other things that he turned that into, but they all leveraged being authors because they understood the value behind having the book and how to leverage the book. All right, so now, everybody, if this fits you, one of these, just the top one, whichever one that is, I want you to raise your hand. If you are a small traditional business owner, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, awesome. If you are in the network marketing space, raise your hand. Who's here in network marketing? Okay, good deal. If you are a corporate climber, that means you're in corporate America and you love what you do and you want to climb that ladder. If you're a corporate climber, raise your hand. Okay, awesome. Now, if you didn't fit any of those three, but you fit into the category of a dreamer, that's probably why you're here. So if you don't fit any of those three, but you are a dreamer, I want you to raise your hand. Okay, awesome. All right, y'all. So that's the first couple of slides. All right, so let's go back through these slides. So you saw how I welcome everybody in, right? And then I went into talking about and what you've done with your life. Is it giving you what you want? Right? Now, if you noticed when I asked this particular question, y'all, I made it serious. It can't be, you can't just run through this question, because this question is what's going to set the tone for the people being open to what it is you're talking about. So don't just, hey, and what you've done with your life, is it giving you what you want? It needs to be a serious, thought-provoking question. Now, in the public speaking course, where you guys will get access to, you're going to know that I talk about creating 3 different topics within your talk, and then in your talk you have what we call legs, and legs are the content for your talk. Well, in one of the 20 different legs that I give you is a question, okay, a thought-provoking question. All right, and that's what we're doing right here. In what you've done with your life, is it giving you what you want? Now, because this is a question that also can be kind of embarrassing, especially if it's somebody that's like running around, you know, acting like life, they boo-boo don't stink and stuff like that. Everything is great and grand. A lot of people not going to raise their hands or want to raise their hands on a question like this, okay? So whenever I'm doing my talks, I make for sure, doing workshops, I never like to ask questions that's going to make somebody feel like they're being called out in front of everybody. So because this is such a serious question, I tell everybody, you do not need to raise your hand. I just want you to think about this internally. Now, because internally, they're going to keep it real. But you know, when you ask certain questions, like how many of y'all know your bank account is negative? They know their bank account negative, but they're not going to raise their hands. So they're not, you know what I'm saying? So now they're not even going to identify, or they're going to completely cut you off because you just try to embarrass them. So I never ask questions where people have to publicly, unless it's like, only time I would do something like that if it's like a coaching course that somebody paid to come to, or it's my team. Situations like that, I'll do that. But in a workshop where people came for free, we're not going to make nobody feel bad at the beginning. So the purpose of this question, again, is to really set the tone so that they're open to hear what you have to say. All right? Then I say congratulations. And then you saw me explain a little bit about it. And I am recording this, so if you guys want to go back, again, I don't want you to duplicate exactly what I say, but you can have your own version. And then congratulations on taking the first step. What do these have in common? Now, if you notice, I had did something where I was like, what do you know, who do these people have in common? And I did like a pretended like somebody said they're all speakers, right? All right. Whenever you ask questions where you want to get people to participate, first of all, nobody's ever wrong. Okay, so like, let's say for example, somebody's like, well, they're speaking, like, yeah, but that's not what I'm looking for. No, that's wrong. No, never do that, because what'll happen is the crowd will shut you off and they will no longer listen to you. Okay, so every answer, when somebody is participating, I always like to say yes. Now, if it's like, if you say, what's 1 + 1, and they're like 3, you're like, okay, that may be a possibility, but does anybody else have another answer for that? So, because we also don't want to, like, 1 + 1, obviously, we know is not 3, but maybe they have some kind of reason behind it. So in their situation or for whatever they're trying to be, you know, whatever, it's right. So I won't say, no, that's not it. I might say something like, okay, does anybody else have another answer? Good, okay, good, something like that, right? So anyways, you notice I said yes, right? Yes, until the person said they wrote a book. That's what we're here for, right? But it's not even the fact that they wrote a book. It's that they leveraged their book to build million-dollar empires, right? You could say million-dollar empires. You could say businesses to grow and become world-renowned names, right? Now, I just happen to have all Black people, but I may work on adding a couple of different nationalities, but who cares? Because these 3 books right here, we know for a fact that these are books that actually exploded these people's lives and businesses. So they're just great examples. Then this one, raise your hand if this is you. Okay. Now I make sure, now the reason why I'm asking this is not just for participation. The reason I'm asking this is so that I can make a mental note of who I have in the building. Let's say, for example, I happen to be in a space of 30 people, and let's say 20 of them say they're all in network marketing. Well, when I start using examples down the line, which I'm going to show you guys in a sec, when I start using examples to build their success funnel, I'm probably going to do something for the network marketer versus a corporate climber, because nobody in here is in corporate America. So it doesn't make sense to use examples for corporate America if nobody was in corporate America. So I'm asking this for a specific reason. Of course, yes, we want people to participate, but I also need to know who's in the room. And if I see people where they're just not raising their hands, you know, at all, you know, so let's say, for example, I ask this question and then nobody raises their hands, right? Not even for the dreamer. I said, so how many of y'all, no matter what I ask, y'all just not gonna raise your hand, right? So now I may ask that question because nobody's participating, and the purpose of me asking that is to get a little bit of a giggle, but to get people to participate. And then I'm never afraid, guys, as a speaker, never be afraid to call out this situation. So I said, okay, so they giggle. I said, okay, guys, so this is the deal. Now, I know y'all did not get out of your beautiful, comfortable homes to come here and just stare at me. So do you really want me to teach you guys how to get this done? Do you really want me to teach you guys? They say yes. Okay, so this is what I'm going to need from you. Participation. Because that's the only way that this is going to work. So I'm going to try this question one more time. Okay? And so anytime you have situations like that, guys, don't be afraid to kind of get people engaged. Because if people are not going to engage, it's going to be a very tough presentation. All right. Now, I've seen people do presentations where the entire time all they do is talk at the people. And guess what people end up doing? They be on their phones, falling asleep, talking to each other, taking notes. You've got to get people to participate. Okay. So on those first 5, does this make sense? Is this good? So you said y'all can't hear me? Oh, y'all couldn't see my screen. Okay, cool. Well, that's fine. Y'all got the presentation?
And you can't hear us.
Here's the first 5 slides. This is the first one. Here's the second one. Here's the third one. Here's the fourth one. And here's the 5th one. I think, hold on, let me see. Did you say y'all got it? Yeah, no, I don't want to hear y'all. Since the presentation. Okay, good. So you opened it up. Awesome. Okay, good. All All right, so let's go into the next couple of slides, okay? So imagine, so now this is one where I typically on this screen right here, I'll have everybody close their eyes. So I'm gonna go back into presentation mode. Okay, so awesome. So we have dreamers here, guys. You are all here at the right place at the right time. Again, congratulations on being here. Now, I want everybody to do me a favor. Close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes. And I may close my eyes in front of you. Everybody close your eyes.
Man.
And now look, like now you know I can see y'all. I may make a joke, right? You know I can see y'all, right? Okay, everybody do me a favor. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes. Okay? I want you to think about this. Imagine what your life would be like if you could increase your income by 2 to 5 times what you make today. How would that look? Keep your eyes closed, though. Keep your eyes closed. I want you to just think about this. Visualize this. What about if you never have to worry about being seen or being noticed and not knowing where to start building with your friends? What about this? What if you are able to make an extra $5 to $10,000 per month, leveraging your life's journey through your book and your multiple streams of income? Would this change some of your lives? You guys can open your eyes and just let me know, would this change your life? Absolutely. Guys, also, I want you to know, if you stay into the end, I am going to give you a 2-day Bahamas cruise voucher. No charge for the voucher. You do have to activate it, but I'm going to give you this voucher just for today. Okay, so everybody make sure you stay until the end. Is that cool? All right, awesome. Yes. All right, so this is what we need to do. Guys, make sure you turn these things off. Okay, turn them off. Also, what you want to do as well is, if you do have to be on social media, guys, please only be on social media because you're taking a picture. All right, so you can take a picture, but include the hashtag SYS Workshop. Okay, SYS Workshop. Make sure you include that. All right. Now, also, please wait for questions after each section. I'll make it available. You can ask questions. And just know, if you're a small business owner, network marketer, corporate dreamer, and you are serious about getting better results, guys, I promise you this. Okay. I promise that these next 10 hours are going to take your life. I'm just joking, not 10 hours, but it's going to be more like 7. All right. So anyway, okay, guys, also, I want to know this, because once we're done, I'm going to give you all of me. I'm going to give you value. I'm going to teach you some stuff. I'm going to make sure that you guys are going to walk away with some information that is going to take your thought process and activity to the next level. But is it okay, guys, that I introduce you to one of the best programs in the world, System Mastery University, our 72-hour book formula? Is that okay? Awesome. Just want to make sure. When I get to this part, I don't want nobody facing it. Because one thing that I truly believe, guys, is I truly believe that if you give value to someone, you should also be valued. You know, one of the biggest things that I meet with a lot of people today is that they're not willing to invest in themselves. See, guys, one thing that's setting you apart from everybody else is that you're investing in yourself right now. See, you're spending your time with me. And to me, guys, your time, that is a valuable asset. But another thing, guys, think about it. How many of us know people that have, and you don't have to look around, this may be you. How many of y'all know people with bachelor's degrees and master's degrees and doctorate's degrees? How many of y'all also know people with all those degrees that don't even work within their field? But they had to pay for that. So they spent all of this money investing into themselves, right? Only to graduate and not even work in that space. Well, guys, we have people in our university who are getting started and starting to earn income immediately. So I want to make sure that we give you some great value today, but I also believe it's very important to value what it is that we are offering. All right. I'm also going to show 10 action takers. 10 action takers how to get an incredible bonus, including working with me directly. Yep. I am going to make it my mission so that we can work together directly, one-on-one. Where are my action takers at? If you're an action taker, you know you an action. Raise your hand. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Awesome. Okay, so this is what we're going to cover. Number 1, secret number 1. Why every single person here, I don't care what it is that you do, should write a book and build a business. Number 2, we're going to talk about writing your book in 30 days and leveraging it for success. And then number 3, how to make at least 3. How many, y'all? 3 streams of income with your book. In fact, this one right here is going to blow you away. It's one of my favorite because I love talking about building coins. Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys all about that. Now, Taria Vision-Avant. Who is Taria Vision-Avant? Well, I graduated from Hampton University with a degree in computer science. By the way, I'm one of those people who got a degree and I do not use my degree, computer science. Sally Mae still wanted her money regardless. In fact, I was one of those college students as well where I graduated from school, couldn't get a job, and I was broke, busted, and disgusted. Who knows about what I'm talking about there, right? That broke, busted, and disgusted. Yes, honey. Now, let me tell you something. I have tried it all. Honey, I've sold knives, insurance. I've gone door to door, the Cutco. I've been a bail bondsman. Yes. I was a bondsman for 1 year of my life. I did telemarketing, sold vacuums. I did all of this. In fact, you can call me the professional tripreneur because I tried it all. Who else here is a tripreneur? Who's a tripreneur in the house? Any tripreneurs? Okay, y'all my people. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I've also been blessed, guys, to be able to get into an industry and of network marketing, and I became one of the top income earners in the entire world. In fact, this is me speaking in front of about 10,000 people. Over the past 5 years, I spent over $100,000 on personal self-development. So I know that that contributes directly to my success because I believe in investing in yourself. And also, I'm a big believer that you can't tell people to invest in themselves if you're not going to invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now, at this time, when I'm investing in myself, I'm building this multiple $1,000,000 business, speaking in front of thousands of people. I'm also in a state of, guys, where I was very unhappy. You know, on the outside looking in, it looked like I had the perfect life. And, you know, even me, I was kind of in a state like, how can I even be upset at my life? You know, I've got the dream car, the dream house, the income, you know, I'm looking fine, honey, you know, I'm still fine. And, you know, I was dating, you know, this multi-millionaire, even though his millions didn't matter because I was making my own money, but, you know, he was a successful, handsome man. But you know, it was like things started trickling down. In fact, the man that I was dating, kind of find out he was not the man that I thought he was, ended up being this big womanizer and child. It was just a story. It was crazy, right? Broke my heart. Then my business, my multiple $1,000,000 business started failing. And all this time, I'm still trying to get things going and still smiling on the outside. But the truth was, guys, I was very depressed. And I don't know if anybody has ever gone through depression. I know a lot of times people don't like to admit that word. I stand before you proud to say I'm a survivor of severe depression, but it was some tough times for me. It was one of the most difficult times in my entire life. And, you know, I found a way to get out of that. In fact, what I started doing was asking God to really reveal to me what my purpose was. You know, a lot of us, guys, we go to work or we do these businesses chasing after, you know, what other people say we should chase after. You know what I mean? Like, we do things that I don't believe are called for us to do because society says this is the type of life you should live. And for me, you know, material things were never something that ever was my desire of my heart. You know, I love traveling and I like to be able to just kind of do what I want to do, you know, when I want to do it, with whom I want to do it with. You know, these are the things that I desire. And also, I love educating, right? And so God started, you know, answering things for me. And when I seeked him, and I love this quote right here, seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. He showed it to me, and he showed it to me, honey, in a way I wasn't expecting. So in 2014, I had my very first workshop, y'all, in Atlanta, Georgia. 61 people showed up, the Show Your Success workshop. 2014 is when we started. Now, fast forward to today, we have over 500 students all over the United States and in multiple countries. We have hundreds of authors. In fact, our goal this year is to have more than 1,000 authors out of Show Your Success in System Mastery. I've published more than 15 plus books. These are some of the books that I've published, guys. My baby, though, is A Vision of Freedom, How to Truly Live the Life of Your Dreams, as y'all can see back here. But this is what we've been doing here. We've traveled all across the country doing these workshops, guys, and it has just been a true blessing. In fact, even blessed more because darn, I don't remember exactly when the year was, but my first educator that came on board, she came on board in a way where it was kind of like I wasn't expecting it. How many of y'all know that sometimes that things are going to happen in your life? You know, God is going to like force you into stuff. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Because she called me up and was like, girl, I quit my job. What can I do to help you? And I was like, wait a minute. What? And she was like, look, what can I do to help you? I quit my job. What can I do? I mean, she said it a little different than that. And I just was like, and she never asked for money. She just said, what can I do to help? And for me, it was like, because I had planned on bringing on educators, but it wasn't going to be until 5 years. So we're talking about 2019. I wasn't planning on bringing educators. But I said, okay, you know what? It's time. We've already proven our results. We have people writing books, making multiple streams of income. So I said, would you like to become my first educator? And she did. And now fast forward to today, we actually have a team. Okay, so it's myself, Angie Renee, Dorothy Travis, Sakita Murdoch, Andrella Pouche, and Charisma Dezzoni. And so we killing it in the game, okay? We all over the place. CBS, Fox News, NBC, and NBC. Yes, NBC, because that's where they do a whole lot of staying, honey, but NBC. But yeah, we're all over the place, and I'm just extremely grateful and excited to see this grow. In fact, another thing that we were able to do is create the Show Your Success Worldwide Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization. I've been blessed to travel over to Ghana, in Africa, at least twice so far, and we're going back more. And our mission now is to be able to show children also how to write books and become entrepreneurs and things of that nature. All right, we have more than 350 students. That's actually 500 now, and we're not going to talk about launch Project 200. Now, here's some of our incredible books and students that we've had over the past years. And guys, I'm telling you, the number is just continuing to grow. Now, by a show of hands, guys, if you're in here and you've already written a book, I want you to raise your hand. Okay, awesome. Wow. Let me tell you something. To my already authors, do me a favor. Everybody stand up. If you've already written a book, I want you to stand up right now. Stand up right now. Stand up. Everybody, let's give it up for them. Everybody come on, clap for them like you want people to clap for you. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, congratulations. Now you can sit down, because I want you guys to understand 97% of most people who want to write a book, they never will. So we want to make sure that we celebrate you, because you are at the top 3 percentile of people in this world who want to write books, because you did it. Now, if you're getting ready to write a book, raise your hand. If you're getting ready, where am I getting ready for? All right, I'm looking forward to those books. And then finally, if you're just not sure if you need to write a book, but you hear because people keep telling you to write a book, raise your hand. Okay, awesome. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to go back over these slides real quick. I just wanted to get through the whole ordeal of introducing me. Okay, so now, one of the things though I've had to work on, guys, is really reducing my story and sharing my story. So, you know, my goal is to get me sharing my story in under 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes, because most people are not really there to hear your story. They don't care. But what they do want to know is that you can relate to them. Not that they can relate to you. Nobody goes and says, man, I hope I can relate to them. No, they want to know how much, you know, like, where can I see myself in your story, right? So they want to make sure that you can relate to what they're going through, all right? So that's why I share the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs. But you really want to get your presentation no more than, really honestly, guys, really, I'm going to even drop it down between 5 and 10 minutes if you can. Okay, so I talk about the graduating. I talk about being a broke college graduate. I talk about trying it all, right? I then go to some success of having success and making some great money, talking about investing in myself so that they can know that I invest in myself as well. And if you don't have a whole lot of money, let's just say, well, I don't have $100,000 or I haven't invested that amount of money. You can say, as a company overall, with Show Your Success, we've invested more than $120,000 over the past 5 years. You can add yourself into the whole group. Okay, does that make sense? Because then you can edify that. And then I talked about going through depression, which I think is important because a lot of people are going through it right now. And then I talk about, you know, asking God and seeking God. So what I've done in this aspect, let me tell you something real quick. In fact, let me teach you something. There are 4 different kind of personalities, right? 4 personalities, all right? The 4 personalities are, The 4 personalities, right, is you have a yellow personality, okay? And a yellow personality is going to be, oops, hold on, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so a yellow personality is going to be someone who is, you know, earthy, wants to free the world. They love other people. They want to help other people. That's what they do a lot of. They're always helping other people, right? Then you have a green personality who's going to be very analytical. They want to know numbers, okay? They want to know, you know, what have y'all done? Da, 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 da. The red personality wants to see winning. So that's why I put pictures of me, you know, doing all the speaking in front of all the people. Also, the red personality is good for that person that's like, well, I done tried it all, right? Because they always going to try stuff, right? And so, and without thinking, they're going to run it face first, feet first, everything first, right? And then you have the blue personality. They want to have fun, right? They got to have fun. They want to have fun. So, you know, you want to make sure that they understand that you've enjoyed it, you've had a great time, all that good stuff, right? So when I'm talking about my story, I'm also keeping that in mind, right? Of all the different personalities, you know, graduating, broke, busted, and discussing everybody's story, but then trying it all, you know, some of these things, you know, this is people can relate to. This right here, me winning, but also speaking. And then, a lot of times I'll joke about this suit. So a blue personality, they miss the whole fact that there's 10,000 people in this audience, right? In fact, it's not really 10,000 right here, because an analytical person might be like, that's not 10,000 people. This is actually halfway at the conference. So there's another group of people in front, and it was an overflow room to the right. Now, the blue personality is going to look at this and say, look at her suit. So a lot of times I'll joke about that too, because blue personalities want to see fun. But you know, I'm blue personality, I'm goofy through my presentation. Now, if you don't have that personality, you don't have to try to portray the way that I speak, but find something that a blue personality, whether it's what you're wearing, you're real fly, fabulous, stuff like, you know, things like that. But yeah, so a lot of times I might joke about that suit. I'm like, honey, let me tell you about that shiny suit. I had on the red bottoms, honey. I had this custom necktie. Shut it down. Fact, y'all, I ain't even really have to speak. I'm telling you, I ain't trying to brag or nothing, but I could have just got on that stage, did a little walk, and then left, honey. They don't even know nothing. So a blue personality is like, oh, I love it, right? Now, this right here, red personality stuff. Sorry, guys. Talking about money, anything talking about like what you've invested and stuff like that. This is red personality. Also green will look into this as well. This right here, everybody can relate, you know, blue personality, yellow personality. What's the purpose in my life? This is some yellow stuff, right? Yellows talk about purpose and things like that. Then we talk about the Show Your Success workshop. I gave some numbers, analytical. I talk about self-publishing 15 books. If you've not self-published, that's okay. You can say, I'm a self-published author though. Right? And then I talk about all these different things, looking like we're having a great time. Blues will love stuff like that. Then I talk about this, right? You know, all the folks. But then this right here, why did I throw the nonprofit in? That's all the way yellow. All the way yellow. I don't have to say nothing else about nothing else. The fact that we have a nonprofit organization and we've had so much success that now now a red will look at it like this. Y'all have had so much success. Y'all have now expanded to a nonprofit. And analytical will look like this and say, that's a good tax write-off idea, right? God dang. A good tax write-off idea, right? And then the blue, they'll just be like, oh, that looks like fun traveling to Ghana. Oh my God, I want to go. But the yellow is like, wow, you're changing people. You're helping people. So do you see how even with my story, I'm relating to every kind of personality, okay? So I take it through up, down, up, down. Then I talk about more numbers. This slide showing you some of the authors. I also then go into this question. Now, remember, every time I'm asking questions, there's specific reasons. Of course, we want people to participate. But you notice even when I was talking about myself, there were different points in there where I was getting people to participate. Now, I'm going to tell you this, guys. We can't necessarily script everybody's when should someone participate in my speech, right? What I will tell you is the more that you do it, the better you'll get. The first time you might be horrible, right? You might forget to get people to participate except for the parts where it actually asks questions. But you know, like where I was talking about tripreneur and stuff like that, how many of y'all been a tripreneur? And if some of you guys feel like you can relate to some of my story, you're definitely welcome to use it, okay? But yeah, so the reason why I'm asking these specific questions, again, is to identify who's in the room. You know, now that we have different things that we're doing for people who are also already authors, that's definitely a market for us, right? So we definitely want to know who's already written their book. And then people who are getting ready, those are people we definitely want to know who they are, because that's exactly who we're ready to work with. And then the ones who are not sure, I love them, because by the end of the conference there or the workshop, they're typically the ones that's coming to me like, girl, I got 5 book ideas. Oh my God, you've helped me so much, right? So anyways, then we go into testimonials, all right? Now, testimonials may change, okay? These testimonial slides may change for sure, but this is just what we have up here. And we like to have these testimonials because people always like to know, is this stuff really working, right? So I'm going to get into talking about testimonials. All right, let's see here. I don't know, my clock. All right. Okay, so guys, you know what? So anyways, okay, so, okay, awesome. You're not sure if you want to write a book? Okay, good. Y'all the ones I love the most, because by the time you leave here, honey, I promise you, you're going to have like 5 book ideas, because you're just going to leave absolutely excited, all right? Now, testimonials. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the people who are having success with us. Here's Lavette and Young Chi. In fact, Lavette and Young Chi took our information that we teach in the System Mastery University, because she became a student. Her and her son, they sat down over a weekend. And do you know, in 3 days, they completed their book. And look at their book, Family Brand, 9 Principles and Tips to Building Family and Business. Do you know that when she announced that her book was coming out, she was offered multiple speaking gigs? She now has her own coaching program and all these incredible things happening just because they leveraged their book the right way. You also have Mary Ned out of Houston, Texas. She was able to get her book out there and started pre-selling her book. Now, this only has 50 people. But do you know, in her pre-selling process, which is typically, you know, about a 30 days process, if that, she pre-sold 75 books. 75 books before the book even came out. Guys, how many of y'all calculate that? 75 times 20. She joined the Comma Club. We have an incredible new program called the Comma Club. She joined the Comma Club just from pre-selling her book. Book never even came out, was in the Comma Club. Here's James and Natasha Roach. James and Natasha Roach. You know, one thing that I love about what we do is that we don't believe in competition. We believe in collaboration and creation. Well, James and Natasha Roach, since they started with System Mastery, within their first 9 months of being in System Mastery, they had self-published 5 books. They created 3 e-magazines. They established a workshop and a seminar. They're now doing couples and relationships seminars all over the United States. On top of that, they're even helping other people to write their own books. And you know, one thing, guys, I want you to know is that we have a big mission to impact 10 million men and women in business and mind, body, and soul. And so we know that we can't do it by ourselves. And so we're so grateful that we have people like Mr. and Mrs. Roach who are inspired to go out there and impact the world as well. Now, this is the deal. I'm going to walk you through our program, okay? Everything that we're doing. I told you we have 3 different things we're going to talk about, but please know that results are not typical. In fact, the average person gets no results. Now, anybody know why the average person gets no results? Anybody want to answer that for me? Okay, yep, yep. Yeah, exactly. The average person gets no results because they take no action. Guys, I'm going to tell you this. I can tell you everything under the sun. But if you leave here and do absolutely nothing, I 100% guarantee you will get absolutely no results. All right, this is not for get rich quick people. This is not for lazy people. This is not a program or a training workshop that's for people that make a lot of excuses. This is for the person who says, Taria, I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the next level, and I want to get it done now. Now, I love this quote right here by Jack Canfield. He said, it's surprising how many people get bogged down in analyzing, planning, and organizing. When, honey, at the end of the day, all they need to be doing is taking action. Guys, look, when you learn this information, the key is to get out there and take action. All right. Now, here's some reasons why people don't take action. Number 1, people don't take actions because people want to get, in fact, everybody read this with me. People want to gain pleasure and avoid pain. Everybody, let's read number 2. Reason 2. People will do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. That's good. Reason number 3. Perception of the pain or pleasure is stronger than the reality. Guys, when it all boils down to it, at the end of the day, the reason why people don't take action is simply a 4-letter word called fear. False evidence appearing real. I've seen fear handicap so many people's successes. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, there can be some good fears, like the fear of a hot stove. You don't want to put your hand on a hot stove. But guys, don't be afraid to get out here and take action. You never know what may just happen when you make a decision to do it. Guys, put your foot up on the neck of fear of criticism by reaching a decision not to worry about what other people think, do, or say. Let me tell you something. People are always going to have an opinion about the great things that you're doing. Do not let that keep you from going to the next level. So book tip number 1. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to go back through some of these things on this slide. Hopefully by now you guys are getting an idea. So we went through the testimonials. And if you notice with the testimonials, y'all, I'm just sharing a little bit of their journey. Okay. It's important that these may not be people that you work with, but these are testimonials that you need to know. So if you ever hear me sharing testimonials, when I'm doing live broadcasts, all different types of stuff, these are things you need to make sure you know these things, okay? So, you know, Levette and Young Chi, they wrote their book in 72 hours, launched a business, speaking engagement, things of that nature. Pre-sold 75 books at $20 a pre-sale. First 9 months of business, this is what they were able to do. And then I talk about this right here. And you notice I also ask people, why do people get no results? Also, if you notice, I did not read this thing word for word. Don't get up there and start reading the slide. Everybody can read, okay? You're paraphrasing for them, all right? So, you know, you can just go through some of this stuff, but the goal is, you know, that you want to get to just having them to identify why people get no results, right? Then you can read this quote, and then I actually just implemented this idea when I was doing this right now, but getting people, because I think everybody can read this, and that would be good to get everybody to read this. Okay, so some of these slides I may still keep, of course, but they'll look a little different. And then fear. So this slide is about fear, and the acronym that I like to use for fear is false evidence appearing real, right? False evidence appearing real. How many people allow fear to keep their dreams on hold, right? And so you can say something real short like that. Then I read this quote, and then we go into book tip number 1. Now, this is the whole first half of the entire presentation, okay? All of that. Now we're going into the body, and the body has the 3 tips, okay? So this was essentially the whole introduction, all right? Now you have book tip number 1. Read your book. Oh, no, this is not the first part. This is just, I threw in some additional tips. So I also throw in a random tip. So book tip number 1, y'all, read your book in front of your audience if you want to sell it. Now, if you're doing a workshop, a book writing workshop, y'all, and you want to sell some of your books, then take the time to actually read your book right there on this tip, right? So then we're going to go into secret number 1, why every person here should write a book and build a business. Well, first of all, guys, there's 28.8 million small businesses in the United States. Now, these are just the registered ones. How many of y'all know people who got businesses that ain't registered? I mean, I know for a long time I was doing my business. Okay, just want to make sure. About 2/3 of businesses actually survive 2 years. Half of all businesses survive 5 years. And only 1/3 of businesses will survive 10 years. 103 million people are in network marketing worldwide, 20 plus million here in the US alone. Less than 5% of network marketers ever make a full-time income. Why is this significant? Everybody say why. Why? Okay, well, thank you for asking. The reason why, guys, is because you've got to stand out. The statistics are already against you as an entrepreneur and a network marketer. So how can you increase the probability of you succeeding? Multiple streams of income. And I don't mean multiple streams of income in multiple different businesses. Guys, it's hard enough doing one. How about we focus on building one business that brings in multiple streams of income by leveraging a book that opens up doors and many avenues? Aha. Here's another. So look, here's another myth about writing a book. Here's a myth. Here's some myths about writing a book. Number one, people think you need to be a certified expert. Guys, writing the book makes you the expert. I can promise you this. Since I've been out here leveraging these books, nobody has ever asked me about anything. How long you've been teaching on this? You know, I wrote a book about depression. Nobody ever asked me, am I certified? Am I a doctor? In fact, I'll give you an example. I was at an event and I was a panelist, and it was all these doctors on the panel, and we were talking about depression. And when people were asking me questions, you know, I didn't know all these words. They were using all these big words, catacality and tomatology. I don't know what they were talking about. But what I did know is that I experienced it, and I just talked about the steps that I did to get out of it, and I had it in my book. Guys, at the end of that event, everybody was not standing in line to talk to these doctors or these certified folks. They were standing in line to talk to the young lady with the book about how to get through it, because she experienced it and she's sharing how she did it. Some people think it takes too long to write a book. Well, I told you, Livette and Young Chi actually wrote their book in 3 days. That's why we actually show you the 72-hour book formula. So some of you may take 30 days, but for those of you who are like, nah, Taria, we need to get this out ASAP, we show you how to essentially take the same procedure and bring it down into 72 hours and having your book done. And then some people think it needs to be perfectly written. Well, I'm here to let you know, guys, that your book does not need to be perfectly written, number one. Number two, everything don't need to be in the book. It's like that person that goes to the buffet and tries to put everything on their plate like they can't go back. Guys, the purpose of this is an appetizer. Your book is the appetizer for what it is that you really provide. Okay, does this make sense? Okay, awesome. Now, here's some reasons why you need a book. It opens doors for other opportunities. People love hiring authors to come speak at their conferences, workshops. They love to have them on the news. We've got Martha Cooper Hudson. She's become like a regular on Charlotte Today because of her book that she just released, Bossed Up on Purpose. They're great business cards. Guys, I can't tell you how many events I've gotten in for free and how I've been able to speak because I've given somebody my book versus a business card. It's a little bit more expensive. I don't just give them to everyone. I give them to influencers. Leaves a legacy for your family. Who's ever said they wanted to leave a legacy? And guys, let me tell you something. You know, Napoleon Hill wrote Think and Grow Rich back during the Great Depression. Today, that book is still one of the top-selling books in personal self-development. He's been dead for a while, guys. But the truth is that, guess what? His book will continue to live on and be a legacy. Now, maybe yours won't sell as many as Think and Grow Rich. We hope it does, right? But if it doesn't, guess what? No matter what, that book will still be a part of your legacy. For years to come, that book will still be there. And so that is a true way to leave legacy with your family. Creates visibility, set you apart from others in your industry. When I wrote my very first book, A Vision of Freedom, this book right here, A Vision of Freedom, I wrote this book with the intention of leveraging it to build my network marketing business. Guys, when I wrote this book, it changed everything. People were now able to introduce me as an author, and then they called me a coach. I never called myself a coach. I never started off with that, but they started calling me that because I had this book on success principles. And it was now a tool that made me certified. So it also will make you certified in your space, right? So it sets you apart, creates visibility. Guys, people love books. People love buying books. People love talking about books. It increases your visibility. Multiple streams of income. Guys, this thing right here, I'm not just talking about the selling of the book. I'm talking about how to leverage it so that you're building multiple streams of income. I'm going to show you some examples on step 3, right? You instantly become an influencer. I told you that. Look, Steve Harvey, act like a lady, think like a man. Instantly, he became an influencer in the space of relationships. Multiple $1 million, $1 billion industry. In fact, go Google how to find love. You want to write about love? You should, because it's a great industry to be in, right? If you know about it, right? And well, shoot, you don't even got to be married. I know I invested. I had went to this workshop one time, y'all, with this lady who's a speaker, the Love Doctor. She was not married, by the way, but she had a book about finding love. In fact, I don't know where the book is, but I had bought it. But on top of that, she wasn't selling the book. She was selling a program that was $300. It was a series of conference calls. But when you bought the program, you also got her book, and she would autograph it for you for free. Everybody was standing in that line to get that autograph. You know why? Because people were buying that book. they spend $300 for that book. Okay. And then people pay higher speakers fees. When you have a book, it makes you more valuable. Okay. Dopeness. Now, one thing that sets us apart from everybody else in System Mastery, guys, is we teach you how not to be what we like to call garage qualified. This is a person right here, bought all these thousands of books, and guess where they're at? Right in their garage. Honey, there is no money behind your book being in the garage. We want to show you how to move your book. I know a lot of authors who are garage qualified, or maybe they're just not nothing qualified because they don't even have a whole lot of books because they're not selling none at all. So guys, we want to separate you from everybody else. We want to show you how to get out here, leverage your book, get your book to perform, and make multiple streams of income. Now, here's why most authors do not succeed. Number one is they write about what they want to write about, not what their audience wants to write about. Now, I know I'm about to ruffle a couple of feathers here when I say this to you. Majority of most people that I meet always want to write a biography or a memoir of some sort or journal entries. Guys, the truth is that honestly, most people don't care about what you're going through. People care about what they're going through. They just want to know, do you have the steps to teach me how to get out of what I'm going through? So there's a way of how you can turn your experiences into value. Now, hey, if you want to go ahead and write your biography and memoir, by all means do it. I'm not telling you not to. But as a businesswoman, I'm trying to teach you how people think and what is going to create separation from garage qualified to coin qualified. I promise you, we'll still teach you how to use your story, but at the same time to impact the masses. Because what happens with most people, unless you're a celebrity, if you write a biography, the people that typically buy your biography are the people who are in your circle, whether it's your inner circle or outer circle, because they're just nosy. They just want to know about, or they're supporting you. But typically outside of that, guys, most people don't buy those books. They buy books on how to do something. Okay. Also, another mistake, reason why authors don't succeed is because they don't market their book. Well, guys, we have multiple ways in teaching you how to market your book successful. Let me tell you this, just because your book is on Amazon does not mean you're marketing your book. Just because you post it on your timeline does not mean you're marketing your book. Guys, you have to learn how to get out there and meet the right people and market your book. Another reason why people don't succeed is because they never take the time to plan the purpose of their book. I was just talking to a young lady the other day. She had 2 different book ideas. One, she wanted to talk about getting over. She actually, her husband passed away. And so she's a widow. And so, y'all, hold on one second. I gotta go get my cord before this computer dies. Hey y'all, and this is what we'll do. So y'all should have the presentation tomorrow. If you, Charisma and Andrella, and then if anybody else wants to show, of course you're welcome to show. But if you guys are available tomorrow at the same time, so we can go through the second half, okay? So that can give you time to kind of look at what we've gone over the first half, review the video. I'm going to upload the video for you guys to check it out. You know what I'm saying? So that you can go through and practice what you've learned so far. Why most authors, they never take the time to plan the purpose of their book. So what I was saying is, so yeah, I was sitting down with somebody. So if you notice, a lot of times I use stories. Now, because you may be new, you can use the stories that I use and say something like, well, we had a young lady who we sat down with, right? You just say we. And use my stories until you get your own, right? But storytelling is so important and so critical that if you really want to come, I'm not talking about a motivational speaker. We're not motivational speakers, okay? We are presenters, okay? We are educators, okay? And so if you really want to become good at being able to sell while you're presenting, you've got to be good at storytelling, guys, okay? So anyway, so I was sitting down with this young lady, and so we were working on her book idea, and she had two. Unfortunately, she lost her husband, and she wanted to be able to write something for widows and how to be able to cope with that and the things that you need to do. But she also has been very successful in the network marketing space. So I told her that with her books, right, whichever one she comes out with, they're both going to lead her on two different types of journeys. See, most people, what they do is they just write a book because they want to say they wrote it, but they never figured out the purpose. There should always be two major purposes in every book you write. There's a purpose for the reader and a purpose for the author. So I always ask any of my clients and students, as a result of writing this book, what is it that your reader is now able to do, and what's their next step? And then number two is, as a result of writing this book, what is now happening in your life? What's the next step? Are you speaking at conferences? Do you have your own workshops? Are you, on the news? Do you have a movie being produced? People never figure that out. And then the fourth reason why most authors don't succeed is because they make it too complicated. They make it too let me tell you something, guys. One thing with us here in Show Your Success, we believe in KISS. Keep it simple, sweetie. Keeping it simple. Don't overcomplicate this thing. We teach you about building 3 streams of income. We'll teach you that in secret number 3, okay? Keeping it simple and following the plan. Keeping it simple and following the plan. Now remember this, when it all boils down to it, people will only buy from you if and only if you can serve them. They don't care about what you got and all these things. They want to know how you can help them. People must know that what you offer is going to help them in some way. Most authors, they fail to focus on what others want. They only focus on what they want. You got to focus on what your audience wants. And many people never take the time to find out who they serve. Like, a lot of people don't even know who their target audience is. And let me give you an example of that. I was working with a gentleman, and he was telling me that he wanted to, now this gentleman was in his 50s, and he said he wanted to work with teens. And I said, okay, great. I said, what's the let me see you do the Dougie. He was like, what's the Dougie? I said, they're not going to listen to you. Because teenagers don't want to hear from no 50-year-old man. Now, if you get up there at 50 years old and you know how to do the Dougie, now they feel you can relate. I'm just giving you an example. If you get up there in a 3-piece suit, 15-year-olds are not going to listen to you. But if you get up there in some jeans with some, some Chucks or something where you are dressed the way they're dressed, fitted, then they're going to listen. So you have to understand who your audience is and how to serve them. Here's another testimonial. Kitten and Atia Gray, they wrote the book Rock the Crown 101, and I've seen her leverage this book, guys, with being able to show people how to actually rock their crown. Atia had this book that she promoted, The Road to College Success. When she put it out there, somebody ended up messaging, when her mom put it out there, somebody messaged her mom and was like, hey, we've got a group of students, over like 500 students, that we want Atia to come talk to. Book hadn't even been out. Book ain't even done. But the people had messaged her simply because she wrote this book about, things you need to do your freshman year. Here's Angela Sims. Since doing this, Angela created this book called Wake Up Girlfriend, Simple Truths to Get the Marriage You Want. Well, she's now created a whole nother organization, the League of Girlfriends, y'all. But what was so exciting was that when she came out with this book, she ended up getting coaching clients, speaking gigs, all types of things, simply from leveraging and launching her book. Now, do we have any ahas or question? Let me explain to you what an aha is. An aha is like where you didn't know, but now you know. So you're like, aha. Everybody do that with me. Aha. Okay, good. So does anybody have anything they would like to share, an aha or any questions? Okay. So y'all, that is, I'm going to stop for now. I don't know if anybody needs me to go over any of those slides. Okay, you're available. Okay, great. Well, y'all just seeing me. Well, as long as y'all got the presentation, y'all could go through the presentation as well while I was talking about that, right? So y'all can use my video to see me and then use the presentation while you guys were going through. So hopefully y'all did that and followed along. Okay, awesome, awesome. So does anybody have any questions on any of the slides? Let me see. I don't know if I need to explain any of them. I'm going to look at them real quick just to see. Okay, so we talk about this, and we talk about small businesses and network marketing, right? And we talk about the fact they need to learn how to leverage, to stand out in their industry. It's a lot of people, and the statistics are already against them, right? Then myths. Now, these are all books of people who are in our market. So I'm going to end up changing them because since then, we've had so many new books that have come out. So we're going to be changing some of these books. Well, actually, remember, we're changing the whole layout anyway, so it's going to look different anyhow. But, talked about being a certified expert. The book makes you the expert. It takes too long. We have the 72-hour book formula. We talk about Levette and Young Chi writing their book quickly. In fact, another person who wrote their book very fast was Sasha Espada. She wrote her book in a week. The book, How to Mix Business with Pleasure. People think it has to be perfectly written. All that jazz. And let's see. I talk about all of these different things, opening doors, leaving a legacy. If you noticed on that portion where I talked about leaving a legacy, I slowed down a little bit for that. Because legacy, that's huge. And that's important to a lot of people. So I slowed down a little bit from that. Set you apart from others, visibility. And, a couple of them, I try to find a place where I can add in, a story or something like that, right? The Garage Qualified. We want you to be coin qualified, right? And we talk about why most authors don't succeed, right? And market. They don't market their book. Of course, I reference back that we in System Mastery teach you multiple ways to successfully market your book, right? Taking out the time to plan to purpose their book. We know majority of most people, the importance of sharing, this one is because if you already have authors there, right? This will be good for them too, because many people, a large majority of people, they just write the book. They never planned it out. Right? We plan out our books. We plan out the results. Remember I talked about it should be two reasons or two reasons why or two results from the book, right? As a result of you writing this book, what does now the reader know how to do and what is their next step? The next step or the final step should not be just to have a book. And that's what a lot of people do, right? And then as a result of you writing this book, what is now happening for you? And then overcomplicating the process. We talked about that. And then we talked about this, remember this. And then I gave 2 more testimonials. Remember, testimonials are going to be big. Now, the thing is, some of these testimonials are going to change. So you can learn them, go back and learn them. But also note, we're going to be adding in new testimonials because we have some newer ones, right? And then the ahas or questions. Now, I typically don't like to have too many questions, okay? But my goal is to get at least 3 to 5 questions, and then we go to the next step, or ahas. And what I also do is sometimes I'll offer stuff, to give away for people actually sharing ahas and questions. So I won't do it right away. Like once all the 3 to 5, then I'll say, here's something, right? And, as I was showing everybody the other day, you can simply go on Amazon. And if you want to make these events, you don't have to, but you can find little nice trinkets and things like that that you can give away for very inexpensive when you do your pins, right? So when you do your event. So diamond pin, here's something that I have bought. These right here to give away at a workshop. You get 12 of them for, I think this is the one that I got, 12 of them for like real low. $15, $15.99. So these are really cute. What else I have found? I have found some other things too. This is 14 for 10 of them. They come in gift bags. So yeah, you can do pens. You can do affirmation stones. Oh, I used to give away affirmation cards. Like I would get these deck of cards these deck of cards at like Barnes and Noble's affirmation cards and let them choose one. But look, you can get, this is a lot though. I mean, it's 42 bucks. But you get 24 stones. So you can give away, you know, there's 3 different sections. So 3, maybe you do 3 to 5. So that's 5 times 3, 15. You think about it because you're going to make money back. And when people start getting stuff, now you only give away one time. So if they answer again on the second time, then you don't have to give them another one. But they're going to be more intrigued to want to answer because when people start participating, people love to keep participating. Especially if you give them good praise. So affirmation cards. Here we go, 500 cards. Oh, these are affirmations, but 50 cards right here. You can just like kind of spread it out and let them kind of take one. People like stuff like that. Okay. All right. Any questions? Yeah, well, remember, this is not the final thing, but right now, Dorothy, I just want them to focus on learning how to do this presentation. We'll definitely make sure that they get more as we create the new presentation. But yeah, we're definitely going to talk about collaboration projects. Very good. Because we're killing it in the game with some collaboration projects. You don't have to tell me why you were asking, Dorothy. Okay, y'all. So anyways, that is all, my loves. And so tomorrow we're going to meet again, same time. We'll just use this same link. So I'm just going to, well, no, I'll just send you a new link. I'm going to, once the recording is done, I'm going to upload it and I'm going to send you the link. It'll be under the link for VIPs.bookcollab.success or whatever the link is. I don't know. What's the link? The VIP.bookcollab.success? Well, I'll send y'all the link. I'm going to upload it to YouTube so you guys can get access for that. And I don't see any questions. Oh, did anybody, if you need to speak, you can also unmute yourself if you just want to talk and ask a question. All right, I guess we are set. Okay, loves, I will talk to you guys later. Make it a great day and get to practicing. And see you tomorrow, same time, same place.